For Dortmund, I don't know what what impressed you most in this tie today.
The fact that they have the most serious jersey in every tournament. They look like they are not. Seriously, their jersey is too flaky to take them seriously. But I love them. I love.
Transit TV back again to the studios. Just concluded first two qualifiers for the semi-finals of this year's Champions League. Dortmund are through, PSG are through. After the intriguing games today, I keep saying it, if there's one thing good that UEFA has done the last decade is taking away the away goal rule. This has made the knockout stage of the Champions League this season very interesting because teams have to play home or away. You need to score goals, you need to win your games to proceed to the next stage. That we saw in both legs of this competition. Today in Germany, we had a 5 or 6 goal thriller. Same in, sorry?
6 goal?
Yeah, 6. Then in Spain, we had almost exactly the same thing. Barcelona and PSG winning today 3-1, and after losing 4-1 after losing 3-2 last week. Yeah, with me as usual, Ubu, my brother, to look at these games and see key elements of the game, lessons to be learned for the remaining 4 teams, 2 games tomorrow, especially for us now, who are newcomers to this stage of the competition in the last 14 years. Ugu, my brother, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you, Reggie. Always a pleasure being on Transit. Always a pleasure watching the top level, game we experience in the Champions League. Perhaps even bigger and better than the World Cup. The World Cup is sacred, I know that, but at this level, you have a collection of the best football players in the world playing at different clubs, having gone through a season of almost 10 months, going on the 11th month now before the end of the season. So it's been a feast of the highest levels of football, and we enjoyed that again today.
Yeah, definitely. Remember, I said it for our loyal viewers of this channel. I've been saying it that Champions League at this stage is won by pedigree for teams, and on the other hand, as well, personality. You have to have players who, when the tie gets crunchy, who grab these games, but by personal or individual magic, can determine the result of these games. And that we saw today. Dortmund relied on the experience of players like Hummels and Brandt. Turned the tie on his head against Atletico Madrid, who somehow miraculously came back into the game. We are in the driving seat, and all of a sudden, of course, Dortmund, who has the magic. If you remember, the coach mentioned it last week after the first game 2-1 loss in Spain. He said that today, I'm talking about last week Wednesday, that Atletico Madrid benefited from the 12th man being their fans. That he is very, very confident that when they go back to Germany, the atmosphere in Germany is going to be an advantage for Dortmund, which they will try to take advantage of. And that they did today. If you also remember, after those games, we had our show, and you and I agreed that Dortmund is a team that you can never say what you're going to get. Sometimes they approach games like there's nothing at stake. But if they can play to their potential, that they have what it takes, and playing at home to turn this tie around and go through. And that we saw today. Again, PSG, last week, from the day that fixture was made, I said PSG will go through. And last week, they lost the first leg. It was looking gloomy. I also mentioned that I believe that PSG still has what it takes to go through, especially when you have Mbappe and Dembele. These two players are players that sometimes can be annoying, but they can always magically decide games. And exactly that's what we saw today. Dembele giving PSG the lead. Though you can talk about the red card, which was a very, very critical part of this match that kind of gave PSG advantage. One man down at this stage is always a difficult thing to ride. And here we are. So let me ask, let's start with PSG and Barcelona. There's something that Xavi, the coach of Barca, played in this competition almost all his career. Season in, season out, won it and won titles. I know PSG, Barcelona has issues with financials, but Xavi kind of, in the first leg he did it, this today again, he likes to start the game with young players, 17-year-olds and stuff. I know they are very talented. I know they can, come up in magic, but I don't think they have the emotional strength to withstand this level of competition. What do you think about that?
I think that Barcelona will be forever thankful to Xavi 2 seasons from now for what he's done for them this season. It's easy to take the cheaper, let me not say the cheaper, the simpler option is to get all the, the big guys that have played all the time and all that and try and win it. But Xavi, I have a lot of respect for him. In fact, I've gained a lot more respect for him since he decided to leave the club and what he's done since he announced it. What he's done since he announced it shows me that he's a Barcelona man through and through. He's trying to get this foundation of that club set for the next 5 to 10 years with what he's done. Now, these players that he's playing, I totally agree, may not be what he needed. Of course, they are not. Let me not say may not. Obviously, are not what they needed to win the Champions League. But the experience that these players have gotten so far in this Champions League campaign, they are leaving the stage at the quarterfinals, right? That's about as far as you can get, given your inexperience. Leaving the stage, the experience that the likes of Kovacic, Pedri, Ferran Torres, Yamal. Oh my goodness. The experience that those boys have gained this season is invaluable. And the next coach is going to enjoy it because he already has a team that's set. All they need to do is to just add a few sprinkles here and there of superstars, and they are set. So, yes, I agree with you, but I think that this is the best thing to do for Barcelona at this point, considering where they are financially and considering what they want to do in the future. So he has kept the DNA of the club alive by going through this route. And right now, everybody can vilify him for it, but see what happens in the next 2 or 3 seasons. They'll be thankful. I mean, that's just the way that I see it. I think this is just the best thing to do. This is the most unselfish thing to do. The selfish thing would be, let me preserve my name and win it and all that at all costs by all means. But this is unselfish for him. The man is a very highly cerebral man. He will move on, but he has done well for the club.
Yeah, I think I completely agree with you. And this is one of the messages coaches like Wenger used to preach. People vilified him for it. That win, he doesn't like to win. No, football is an art, and this is clubs are supposed to be able to run themselves from what they make or how they generate income and stuff. All this given to the higher machineries to win trophies at all costs is what is causing a lot of banter, a lot of this, because people now just win trophies and win stuff without having building that culture, having fans that actually understand what football is now all about winning and stuff. So I completely agree with you, because what he has just done, and the only thing I know that Barcelona needs to do now is Gundogan, Lewandowski, these players cannot help you. They are too good to help in this process. By next season, go and get players in their 26, 28 to join what you have and go from there. He can't win with Lewandowski. He cannot win with
and perhaps try and Leo Guardiola back. Yeah, if Guardiola comes back there, get hold of these boys and what you're talking about, that's one or two guys.
That's another thing. Yeah, once you're able to give him maybe 4 key players that 26 to 8 years, prime of their career. Yeah, of course, with these boys, Barcelona will tear any team apart. But this one they're trying to do, look for cheap, almost retiring players to do. It's not going to work. Either you go all guns blazing with young players and give them 2 years. After that, you see what happens from there. Or if you want to win now and still have the future, then bring in some players that are in their prime and join the young ones and see what happens from there. Though, like you mentioned, the biggest problem now is the financial fair play. They seem to be very, very neck deep into some kind of financial issue that make it difficult for them to sign players at their prime. But they have to find a way. They have to find a way. These days, there are some players in their prime that have contract issues or have that can be free agents in 1 year. They can try to, get them and forge ahead from there. So let's go to PSG. PSG, another club that's going through transition as well. Before the Galacticos module that Real Madrid usually has, by bringing superstars, it didn't work. Little by little, they're taking off those Galacticos. Mbappe is about the last person to leave at the end of this season. 99% guarantee that he's going to leave PSG. And they brought in Enrique, who happened to be Barcelona product. Maybe try to bring Barcelona style into PSG. He has gone this route we're talking about now with some very young players. You have Zaire Emery there, you have Bacola and other players. This Vitinha, for me, who was key to Barcelona PSG going through in this stage from Portugal, 24 years old, to form the fulcrum of that team. Maybe by the time Mbappe leaves, they probably will get one or two experienced players to sprinkle on it. So talk to me. What was your emotions about PSG at this stage?
Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Luis Enrique. Probably one of the most. When I look at the man, I kind of have pity on him because I feel like he's suffering. But the guy is also such an intelligent man.
He's a football man.
He's a football man, deeply passionate. It's all about the game for Luis Enrique. I like him. I like him a lot. And kudos to him for what he's done so far for PSG. You analyze it properly. He's done exactly what we were asking Barcelona to do. They've started deviating or kind of getting away from that Galactico model. I like what they're doing. It's sustainable. Footballers like Kolo Muani are smart guys, a proper player. His head is in the game. He's there. He has joined. We're looking at the likes of Vitinha, like you mentioned when we were talking. Even this the Moroccan right back, proper player. Then they have these two. Yes, they have these two boys, two French boys that I see a lot of. Bacola and Emery.
Yeah, I just mentioned to them.
Man.
Bacola made the first goal. Now you see the cross that he gave to Dembele.
Yeah. So they are set. They are set. But at least for the next few seasons, let them keep this model. Keep hold of that fearless warrior called Luis Enrique. I mean, if you're good enough and you give him what he wants on the pitch, you play. No matter no matter your age, no matter your whatever people want to say, he just comes to the field and does what he wants to make the game work for his club. So I think they'll go for again. Let's watch out for PSG this year, this Champions League, right? They have a smart coach and they have a good squad. So nobody should write PSG off from lifting that trophy. Again, they've suffered for a few seasons now in the Champions League. They've tried everything.
Yeah, that Champions League for you have to go through that learning curve.
Thank you.
Before it's difficult for you to come from nowhere and win the Champions League.
Thank you. So that's why
But
yes.
for the most part, you remember Tottenham 4 years ago or 5 years ago, they were beating everybody. When the Chiefs were down in the finals, they couldn't win it. And unfortunately for them, they lost Poch, lost some of the players, and that thing decimated. And that was the end of the story for Dortmund, for Tottenham since that time. Choma, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Always shining stealing the show. The beauty of the good to see you, Charles.
Welcome, Choma.
Thank you. Did you guys see Dortmund? Did you see Dortmund?
Yeah. We are PSG, Barcelona. I don't know. Did you keep an eye on that game? What do you think? What did you think that helped PSG on the game to go through on this one?
Well, I think we all figured PSG were going to go through. We all knew that.
Yeah, we mentioned it last time.
But on Atletico, nobody saw that coming. We just couldn't. I was so excited.
Yeah.
In between and vegetable soup, I was like, what? What's happening? Because I went out to catch it. I was like, what? I'm not choking on my food tonight. What's happening? All I did. Those Dortmund guys, they act like they are not interested, but they know what they are doing. Seriously.
Yeah. PSG really. Like I was saying Lugum, for me, Dembele is one player that, this guy plays corner kicks with left and right. The only player I've seen do it is Santi Cazorla. So that's how talented Dembele is. And it just depends on which Dembele you get in a game. And today, remember last week we said it, with Dembele and Mbappe, he can't rule PSG out. And today, these two players turned up. And for me, the biggest takeout from this game today for PSG is their attitude. They showed real attitude. They showed a desire to progress from this stage. Going to Spain to get a 4-1 win on the night, I don't think you can go wrong with it.
Can they stand Man City? Can they?
Well, they do.
When push comes to shove, can they?
Semi-finals first before Man City. Man City has even qualified, so let's not go there.
I passed where you put out. I'm headed to the.
Let's not go there. Is Ugum still there? So yeah, for me, congrats to PSG. We called it here, like you said. We all believed that PSG was going to go through, and that they did today. Yeah,